Greetings, I'm Scott. I'm on the Alaskan Gypsy, our 80-foot steel triple-masted motor sailor. I'm in the Wrangell, Alaska shipyards. I'm specifically in the head on the boat right now. It's in total disarray. I had to demo there was a nice cabinet in here, and there was actually a marine toilet down here, where there's just a bunch of stuff now. I had to tear all this out because I was welding in here. See that burnt paint? That was part of the hull restoration that we're in the middle of here. This boat was about to sink in the harbor because of electrolysis that was caused by not having the zinc anodes, sacrificial anodes, changed on it for too long of a period. So we became owners of the boat and are now trying to refit it, restore it back to a seaworthy state. And today I just wanted to give you a little update on how this is going, because it's going all over the place, but not very far, it feels today, right now. Outside it's raining, and then it's not, and then it's raining, and then it's not, and it's really playing on my mental ability to focus on a project, because I keep on thinking, oh, I should go work on that. Hey, look, there's some guy back there. I should go work on that, but then, oh, now it's raining again. I'll do an inside project. Well, so I decided I'm going to try and just focus on something. One thing inside, the water heater. I tore the water heater out to do the welding, and so it would be really nice if I could wash my hands in warm water and we could do our dishes with warm water. We're going to be here for months. What the heck, might as well plug the hot water heater back in. I had to tear it out because I needed to get in there to remove the foam, to remove the plywood, to remove the foam so that I could do the welding. And now I'm going to hook the hot water heater back. It's in here, just sitting there in storage with a compressor and part of a toilet in the shower that we're not using, but we could be using if we had hot water. So anyhow, here I am. I'll just plug the hot water heater in, right? Simple, not a big deal. Just plug it in, build a little shelf for it, whatever, temporary. But okay, before I can plug it in, here's the wires for it. Well, golly, how are these wires doing? Well, it turns out they had a little bit of their insulation had been cracked. So, all right, step number one, a little heat shrink on there. Make sure we don't get water inside our wiring and corrode the wiring or short out and burn the boat down. Okay, so that's number one. And then, oh gosh, it's not raining. I should go outside and do the welding on the stern. Okay, I need a power cord. My power cord doesn't reach, but maybe I can run it through the boat. You know how it goes. It's just like one thing after another. Now it's raining again. Okay, back to the water heater. I got the wiring fixed. Now, oh shoot, look at this. When I was cutting out the plywood, this is a bilge pump hose that was hidden inside the wall. Didn't know it was there. Could have figured it out, but I didn't. And I hit it with the Sawzall right down here. The Sawzall blade, right into it. Well, you can imagine the last thing I want to do is bury a bilge pump hose with a leak in it inside the wall. So I got to fix that. Well, I need to clean it off. I got the Aqua Seal so that I could put a little patch on the vinyl hose. I think it's vinyl. But now I need to find my wire brush. Where's my wire brush? Oh, the wire brush was in the engine room, I think, where I was working on the shaft. Oh my gosh. You know how it is. Anyhow, it's just making me think. That's the way projects are. One thing is always connected to another. And next thing you know, you feel like you can't get anything done because everything you touch requires you to get involved in 4 other projects. Oh look, I got another wire brush. So anyhow, this is what I'm up to on a rainy Saturday in Wrangell, Alaska. Trying to do some inside projects. And I'm going to wire brush the old foam off of this thing where it's cut. And then I'm going to use Aqua Seal. If you're not familiar with Aqua Seal, it's an absolutely incredible product, and it makes an amazing bond And I'm keeping it in the freezer. It's in the other freezer. I'm keeping it in the freezer because it doesn't set off inside of its little container so fast when it's in the freezer. What? Oh, look, there it is.
What are you doing in there?
Bugger hiding from me. There's your lead video editor. She thinks I'm getting snacks. No, unless you want to eat aqua seal. Come in here in the kitchen and guess what? Reminds me that we're gonna need to eat here in a few hours, and this is our dinner. It's frozen rock solid. It's black-tailed deer shanks from Kodiak Island. Needs to go in the pressure cooker. So I think before I do the hot water heater, before I do the welding on the stern, before I figure out the power cord, before I finish the shaft project, before I need to cook dinner, start cooking dinner, before I help Audrey learn how to use Premiere Pro video editor. Oh my gosh, what am I working on? Who am I? Where are we? Making a YouTube video, that's right. Focus. Okay, I gotta cook dinner. Talk to you later. I want to show you this. Speaking of cooking dinner, I thought I should show you this thing because I've used Instant Pots and stuff quite a bit. This thing is the Ninja like 74-in-1 cooking machine. You can do yogurt, broil, air crisp, pressure cook, steam. It's got 2 different lids for it, so I'm switching into pressure cooker mode from air cooker mode. That's kind of weird, that lid stays on there, but then you add this lid to it, which is arguably, yeah, kind of weird. I'm not sure how that's going to work when we're in seas, rocking and rolling, to like tie that thing off. But now I can pressure cook. So these are frozen deer shanks, which I really love shanks. Also another waste product for most people, and I'm just going to pressure cook them because they're frozen. And pressure, high, sure, whatever. I'll do it on low, and then I'll do time. A lot of time. Oh, yeah, 45 minutes. That sounds fine. Not really worried about overcooking them. Start. Easy as that. So I didn't put any seasoning, nothing in there. It's just the shanks and some water. Water is the key part. A little bit of water. And it's going to pressure cook them for 45 minutes, and then I'll season them up, and then slow cook them for a while longer. They need a lot of time to cook, and all the connective tissue and sinew and tendons basically melts down, and they become really delicious. And I just remembered why I was in there. It's because I was getting aqua seal, so I could put aqua seal on the bilge pump hose before I hook up the water heater in the bathroom. So got my aqua seal. I'm going to put that on the hose. Then I'll work on hooking up the water heater so we can end this day with warm running water for our dishes and wash our hands before we eat. Lovely, very civilized. Well, guess what? I am not putting the aqua seal on the bilge hose because the aqua seal was frozen, so I couldn't put it on there. So now I'm wire brushing this old paint that is burnt from welding. This is one of the steps that I need to do at some point. Anyhow, wasn't going to do it today, but here I am doing it right now because I feel like I got some time to kill. Well, the aqua seal is fine out, but basically these are where this is where I welded this area from the outside, and it burnt the paint. And so I want to wire brush that paint off, and then eventually I'll mix up a batch of, I think it's PPG product. It's called Amerlock or Ameron, I forget which. 240 or 235, it doesn't matter, it could be either one. And then it's a 2-part epoxy paint that I'll use to paint over all these burned paint areas to seal them so they don't rust, since the paint seal has been majorly compromised, burned away in most instances. So this is another part of the process, another distraction, but a productive one. Welcome back to the bathroom. I'm your host, Scott Dickerson, here in Head Adventures aboard the Alaskan Gypsy. Well, I got that bilge hose glued up. I found this little board. I don't know why this was on board, but this board was on board, and it's cut at an angle where it sits right there really nice. Did I tell you why? Another reason why I demolished this cabinet that was here? It smelled like poop. There was a vent from the toilet that went up inside behind a cabinet here, and it was like a high air vent for the sewage going overboard. So, you know, your business would go in the toilet and then it would get pumped up this high vent and then down overboard, I think to prevent back flushing. Well, here's kind of a gruesome detail. When things got plugged up, that high vent would become a poo geyser. A poo geyser, no joke. And this cabinet back here, and in behind this cabinet, and on the shelves and stuff, was literally like, who knows, years, I don't know. There was a lot of dried fecal matter, and it was just sitting in there. And when the hot water tank, the hot water heater was right next to it, and the hot water heater was covered in some, you know, residue. Whenever that would get hot, it would start to smell. And this area of the boat would have a significant odor, and I wasn't sure why. It was clean around the toilet. Things looked clean. The water tank was behind a screwed on panel, so I didn't look at it for a long time. A long time being like 2 days. But anyhow, so this stuff really needed to get demoed because it was nasty. All the wood was soaked in sewage basically, and that plumbing was all plugged up and gnarly. It was bad. So anyhow, that's why this all got demoed, and that's why I'm here kind of piecing it back together a little bit. So bear with me. Here comes our water tank. Oh. Yeah. Oh. Got a mop stuck to it. Oh, this thing's pretty heavy. It barely fits in here. Hot water tank coming at you. Oh. I don't really remember how this thing was hooked up, but hopefully it's gonna fit in there on that little shelf. So let's see if I can get it in there. This is the kind of stuff that honestly I think about, like, will I be able to do this when I'm old? Wrestle a water tank by myself? I'm not sure. Maybe I shouldn't be anyhow, so maybe it's okay. Alright, well, it's gonna work pretty good. It's not exactly where it's meant to sit, but it's pretty close. So one interesting thing about this deal is you can see it's got these, I gotta put something else under it. But it's got these coolant loops. These green hoses, they come off the main engine. When the main engine runs, it pumps its engine coolant into the hot water tank and heats your hot water without running the electrical. Here's the electric element. Doesn't run the electric element. Well, it could if you got 110 on, but it heats your hot water tank off of an engine coolant loop off the main. So that's pretty cool. I'm not sure what those, oh, that was for the bidet. Hot water and cold water was plumbed in to a bidet on the toilet. Yeah, this thing has a bidet. Kind of crazy. It's actually the first time I've ever used one, to be honest. Talk about that another time. So, got my steam vent, power connection, cold water in, hot water out. Got these plugged up. This thing's mostly empty. It's a 120 volt, 1500 watt, 20 gallon tank. So I'm not going to hook up the coolant loop right now, obviously. I'm going to just go ahead and hook all this other stuff stuff up after I block it up a little bit. I got one water hose hooked up, and it's just a really cool thing going on down here. It's Audrey needs help with computer stuff. But I just wanted to show you all how cool this is. This hot water tank is filled with chocolate milk. What a deal! Who would have thought? You know, it's special. I don't really know what's going on in there, but it's basically appears to be full of essentially mud. And so I'm working on draining it out. It's kind of gross, but there's other worse things. At least I'm pretty sure it's not fecal matter. I think that was just on the outside of it, not inside. So it's probably just old rust and corrosion and who knows what, 30 years of collected sediment. But getting close. I don't know why this thing has 4 different, it's got pipe nipple, T, coupling. I don't know why this thing is even here. It seems like this fitting could go into that fitting, but it's not. So that's the end of it looks like. That's good. Crystal geyser, natural alpine spring water. Not anymore, folks. So I'm just hooking up the, it's leaking on me. This little cup, put that down there. Just hooking up the water inlet. Got some of my Blue Monster thread tape. The water pressure here in the Wrangell shipyards is really high. We're hooked up to the hose, you know, just the yard hose for our water right now. And holy cow, I don't know what PSI it is, but that thing means business. And I do not want any leaks in here, so I'm being a little extra careful knowing that we're going to be running at full-blown high zoot city PSI on this thing. So yeah.
Maybe I'll just look in a second.
Look,
Just wait a minute.
she's getting into the snacks.
Yeah.
It's okay, she lifts weights and goes for runs and stuff. She has to feed herself. I just sit around and mess with things like this, like these wires I got in there. Wire nutted up, temporary, thank you. The lines are hooked up. These little things are closed. And I think it's time to turn on the water pressure and see if we flood the bathroom or if we can withstand the Wrangell City water pressure without spilling all over everywhere. It's gonna work. Valves on. Fittings tight. I think we got a chance. I don't think we're gonna just completely drown the place right away, at least. So that's good. Wish me luck. Hi, me again. Well, I started filling this water tank up, turned on the hose. I could hear the water filling in there, and I got to thinking about this, and it says, here we go. Anode needs inspected annually. A zinc anode, a sacrificial anode. The reason we're here in the shipyard is because the boat didn't get its zinc anodes replaced for 6 years. And I thought, you know what? I better check the zinc anode on this thing, or whatever kind of anode it is. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to go ahead and pull this anode out and see if it's still even there at all, and think about replacing it before I start using this water heater, because I don't really want to buy a new water heater. I'd rather keep this one going if I can. So I think it's probably full up to this point, unfortunately. So, oh boy, thing was in there, tell you that much. It's gonna pour water everywhere when I open it. I don't see water coming out yet. That's good. maybe I hadn't filled it up to that level yet. Bonus. Let's see, there's a little water coming out. Wonder if I could tip the tank enough to have it not leaking. Oh, bummer. It's clearly filled up to there. So I need to let some water out of this thing before I pull it out to inspect it. Shoot. Well, folks, I think I started this video by saying how some projects it just seems like one thing leads to another and you're not really getting anywhere because you're just dealing with all of the other things that you have to do before you can do the thing you were thinking you were going to do. I'm sure anybody who's been involved in a remodel or a boat refit or restoration knows exactly what I'm talking about. Well, today was a great living example of that. I went to just hook up the old water heater, right? No big deal. The hoses are there, the wires are there. Well, one thing leads to another. I started filling this thing up with water and I thought, man, I better check that zinc. Like I was saying, well, I got that zinc out of there. First I had to drain the tank a fair bit, which that was kind of a goat rope. Got it drained down, checked the zinc. Predictably, when I pulled the zinc plug off, there was no zinc and there was just some like mud that came out basically. So I just can't do it. I can't just plug this thing back in and start using it. I know it's full of gunk. The zinc is totally gone. So I think I better actually address the issue, which I should probably just be looking at getting a new hot water heater, but it's sunny outside and I should be out there welding. This is not a rainy day moment right now, so I'm gonna leave this thing for another time. Try and come at it with some fresh energy. I gotta unhook the hoses. At least I think I'm gonna take it outside and hose it out inside, run the hose in one side, out the other, and at least get the thing flushed. Go to the hardware store, get a new zinc, and maybe then I'll put it back in, new zinc, flushed all the muck out of it, and then maybe I can sleep in peace. I don't know. So that's my idea for now. I should probably buy a new one. This one is probably 30 years old and it's probably really corroded inside as well as the bottom of it's basically rotted off. But it's not really in the budget. I don't really feel like setting aside another whatever $1,500 or who knows. This thing's got a heat exchanger on it. It's probably, I don't know, there might be a few $1,000s. So I don't really think that's a good idea right now. So there you go. Sorry, no conclusion to this video. Woe is me, I didn't get to conclude it with washing my hands in warm water or the dishes tonight in warm water, but that's the way it goes. I hope you find it relatable and entertaining because it's not your problem. All right. Holy cow, it looks way nicer out here. Forget that bathroom. Look at that, it's pouring rain for most of the day. Now, look at it. Holy guacamole. We got to get out of that boat. Should be out here welding my brains out. Everything's still dripping, but it sure is beautiful. Wow. There's Audrey. And a rainbow. Look at that. You see the rainbow?
Yeah.
La. Looks like it's gonna be.
Never won the rainbow too.
It looks like it's gonna be raining in 20 minutes.
I know. Look how pretty it is. I just had a nice. I just took you on a nice walk, so this will be awkward.
Video mashup. Oh, there's our gypsy. I just came out of the shitter, basically. Gave up. Abandoned poo project. Hot water, but I'm gonna work on this welding. Oh my gosh, I can weld. Look at that. That's what I got to work on right there.
Cool.
Rudder's gone. Prop's gone. Shaft is gone. Good time to work on this zone here that needs some welding. So it's ready to go. It looks like I got about 20 minutes.
I know. I'm trying to
But it's really nice. Look at that sky.
Yeah, so pretty.
It's really nice hanging out under our boat.
I know. Well, I mean, I'm
This is like
On
a,
land.
it's like a gazebo boat.
I don't want to be.
Keeps the rain off. Look at that rainbow.
I know.
Dang. Okay, I'm gonna
Really
set up
gonna
for
go
welding.
For a run.
Water heater. The battle goes on. Now it's after dinner. I actually got outside and did some welding. That was sweet. But then I don't remember where I was. Did I say that I decided I better drain the water heater instead of leaving it without a zinc? So yeah, I pulled the zinc and no zinc there. The bottom of the thing is totally rotten out. But anyhow, I'll show you the water tank heater in a minute. I think the thing might be a little bit beyond hope, but here's one of the fittings from it. And check this out. This is what years of neglect looks like in a water heater. Let's see. This was on the outlet valve. And you can see, I don't know if you can see in there, but basically, see how tiny this light shines through there? That's because there's hardly even a hole in the bottom of this thing. It's basically, this is just a bushing on the T valve that was on there for the bidet. But it's a galvanized, it had some galvanized. This thing wasn't quite growing all the way closed. This still had some room for fluid to flow, but this little valve on here was like a hole the size of a toothpick was all that was left. It was pretty bad, and that's kind of how this whole water tank is looking, except even worse in some areas. So I got it up here on a bucket. Nearly gave myself a hernia picking it up there, and it had about, I've hauled about 15 gallons out of it, maybe 10 to 15. But these valves are all really not valves, sorry, these galvanized T's are all rusted, corroded up inside. This one is the bottom one. It was looking pretty terrible. But really, I'm gonna flip you upside down, send you down here. Look at the bottom of this water tank. Ew, it's just falling apart. Look at the floor. Oh, black mold, killing me. So anyhow, I'm feeling like I'm probably in the market for a new water tank. Don't really want to be, but. So I got to decide, do I want to buy one that has the engine heat exchanger unit in it? Probably. That seems like a really nice feature to have. I got the room. This is a 20-gallon tank. Wouldn't mind putting another 20 in there, I guess. I could put it in the under the galley there in the freshwater compartment. I could put it back here in the bathroom. I obviously got a full bathroom remodel coming my way. Hot on my tail. So I don't know, what do you think? Any input on my hot water tank style, design, features? I just don't really know anything about it. Just kind of guessing that it would be foolish to put a lot of effort into cleaning and fixing this one when it's so old and in such bad shape, obviously, but maybe I can fix it up. I don't know. Conundrum. There where it's at. I'm going to take the thing outside, I think, and at least hose it out, roll it around, look at the bottom of it, and just see how, is it just the bottom pan that's rotten? Because I probably can remedy that. But or is it the tank and all the insulation has maybe been soaked with fecal matter? Ugh. Anyhow, that's where we're at. It's nighttime and working the night shift here. Alaskan Gypsy, mobile marine service, hot water tanks, and welding. Oh. What we got here is a hot water heater that when I was going to put this thing back in, came to find out that it was puking mud, and it's got a zinc in it, or did have a zinc in it, and I pulled that thing out and it was completely gone. So what I'm gonna do here is take this thing down on the ground and try and rinse it out with the hose, get a bunch of the muck out of it, And then I'm hoping that I can get it hooked up, and tonight will be the night that we'll be able to wash dishes with running warm water, and I'll be able to wash my hands with warm water again. That would be really nice. So I got a hose down there. I got a dirty hot water heater up here. I went to the hardware store and got the Zinc. See, I think I can carry this thing down the steps. No, can't carry you, my little YouTube world, and that water heater down at the same time. So I'm gonna leave you down here. Tell you one thing, this thing is a lot lighter when it's empty than when it's full. Actually, I guess I want to do it right over here by the drain. I got a hose hanging off the Gypsy here. Oh yeah, plenty of water pressure. So let's see. See if we can get some mud out of this thing, huh? Ew. I think it's almost plugged up. Well, it took a bunch of water. I'm gonna slosh it around. I think actually, this is a heater coil for the main engine to heat up water in this thing. Let's see. Oh, you see that water coming out of there? Look at how gross that is. See if I can get any water to go in there. It's hard to do this and film it all at the same time. This thing's got a T in it. How come no water's coming out? I think this thing must be plugged up. Look at that. There, it was so plugged up it couldn't even let the water out. I was putting in there. You see how muddy that is? That water coming out of there? It's like, yeah. I think we got a little bit of a problem. Yeah. Mud puddle water. Whoa, look at all this sediment coming out. I think it plugged itself back up. Got lots of chunkies. I'm just spraying a whole bunch of water in it now. Give it a little bit of head pressure. Hopefully I can get more chunks to come out down there. I think I should go take this 90 off. Get a wrench and pull that 90 off. It's plugged up in there somewhere. Here's a stick. Huh. This thing, I think that it'd be really good just to get a new one of these things, I bet. But look at that crud coming out of there. Keeps plugging itself up. Well, I'm glad that I got it out here next to the storm drain, and I'm flushing it instead of trying to get all this crud to come out through the kitchen faucet or something. There's obviously a lot of crap is collected in that water tank. I think it's pretty old. It's done pretty well, and the bottom was rotten out of it. But I just took the bottom off of it, and it's actually, the tank looks like it might be in decent shape underneath there. The little pan that it was in was totally rotted out, but getting some crud out. Wow. We'll let that thing drain for a little while. Whew, storms are coming in again. Look at that sky. Pretty ominous looking out there. I hear Don here at Superior Marine said, build that shelter we're working on today, build it to withstand 100 knots or 100 miles per hour. You know, I think he's been a little bit cautious, but anyhow, really thinking it could blow pretty hard. I got my scaffolding is here. Haven't built any kind of a shelter yet, but I'm getting close. A friend Jim here in town loaned that to us. Thank you, Jim. And I got some, there's some wind already. I got some 1x2s to put on over my plastic or tarps. Here I got some rough cut local 2x4s, a bunch of 16s, a few 10s, some 8s, well, but mostly 8s, but I think with those, they're actually, most of those are yellow cedar, if you can believe that. That's what the just locally available rough cut wood is. Get some pine, hemlock, red cedar, and yellow cedar. Pretty amazing. I was gonna just buy them at the building supply store, but Don at Superior Marine had some of those in a bundle, and I asked him if he wanted to sell some boards to me. He said sure, so that'd be cool. I love rough cut. Back up in Homer, I have a few sawmills. I enjoy rough cut lumber, working with it. I just like it all around. We're stopping dribbling, so not sure if it's about empty or if it's plugged up again. Looks like maybe it's about empty. Get some more water in there. Okay, time to go get a pipe wrench and take that 90 off of there so that I can actually get that thing to flush out a little better, hopefully, and keep unplugging it. It looks like I got a lot of crud in there to get out, so might as well quit goofing around. And luckily we're on board the Alaskan Gypsy mobile workshop. Got all the tools you need down here in the workshop. It's kind of a mess, but check it out. So what do we want? Got a few pipe wrenches. Take that one. That should make it easy. I was gonna cook dinner, but Audrey's not back yet. Had a little snack. I think she's off at the gym. She loves the gym here. And so I figure I'll work on getting the water running, the hot water running. It's gonna be stormy tomorrow. Let's see. Try not to tear my threads apart on these 90s. Oh boy. There we go. That thing came right off. No big deal. Now, where'd that little stick go that I had? Right here. Should be at a, oh boy. Oh yeah. Definitely got some crud in there. Feel it. Wow. 20 years on a boat, doing hard duty probably. Need a block to put this thing up on so I can put it on this pallet over here. Well, this went on and on and on for quite a while. I just kept on getting more and more sediment, more and more gunk out of this tank. I don't know, I probably flushed it in with the hose 15 times or something. I couldn't believe just how much crud came out of there. It's hard to say how much of it formed in the tank or came out of the water tanks or what, but it was an impressive volume of sediment and some sort of oxidization growth, it looked like. Not really sure, but it just kept going and going and going, thinking it was surely about to end, and the crud kept flowing. And it's getting dark out now. Raining, windy. Just sort of couldn't give up though, because what am I going to do? Come back to this another day? No. So just kept flushing, just kept poking, just kept getting sediment sloshing, and was hoping to get clear water out of this thing. What are these things? Getting like these big chunks are coming out of it still. I wonder if they're pieces off the zinc or something. Well, that is looking pretty clear. It's getting pretty dark out here. I'm not convinced this thing needs to be perfect, but that looks a heck of a lot better. I think I might call that good enough. Oh, You're still with me? It's getting dark out, looking stormy. Here's this scene of the crime. Look at just this sediment that is left over from that. Look at these things. What the heck are those? Those came out of this water tank. Well, me and this water tank had quite a fun time out here with y'all. Hot water tank wrangler coming through the galley. Oh, I think I put this thing in the bathroom where it's going. Whew. Okay. We got our patient in the bathroom. Now we just got to figure out how to make our connections. All right. Okay, I'm in the bathroom now. Here's this is the water line outlet, so it needs to connect to there. It looks to me like if I can do away with this T because that was for the bidet. I'm not going to be using the bidet for a while here, so I don't know if this thing can handle going straight into pipe or if it needs a compression style fitting there. I'm kind of guessing it does. I think if I pop this plastic nipple out, I can put this on that 90. We're going to tighten this. That should work. On the other end of this little program, we got, what is this thing? Is it the right size? Looks like it's too small. So this one, for some reason, has got a brass fitting. It's different than that one. Although I might be able to switch it over to the plastic since I do have some of those around. And then this could go to that, but it's a compression style fitting, so I don't know if that might work actually. Plumbing question. Not positive. I got a few different things, but that adapter that looks like it takes see what these look like inside. I think they're gonna have, yeah, they got that tapered edge for to seat that on. You know what I mean? So I think I'm probably gonna have to find something, or maybe I can go bushing off of that. I can probably find a bushing for that. So that'll be my task to do. Should be able to make that work. I got my new Zinc. Gonna stick that in there, but I don't have to do that right now. My wires to hook up. Hopefully that thing still works. I don't know. Oh, the thing must be down there. Oh, it's broken. No wonder it's floppy. There's Audrey.
Hi. Just back from the gym.
You were there a long time, huh?
I did a lot of stretching, somatic movement, sauna.
Yeah.
It was a good recovery after that 10-mile run. And then shower. What are you up to?
Water heater. I got it flushed out. I got the zinc for it. I flushed like probably a quart or a half gallon of like mud out of this thing. But now it's basically ready to go. I'm gonna try and get it installed here. And then maybe we'll have warm water to wash dishes tonight. That's the idea.
Well, thanks for doing that. I'm gonna go work on some. I don't know what. I have a lot of things coming to me that are no fun, so creative directions to go. You need help?
No. There we go. All right. Now, I can put this 90 on here. It's not the worst thing ever. Put some new pipe thread on it. This whole thing is kind of ridiculous, honestly. It's okay. Got this thing blocked in here. The wiring is pretty marginal. Looks like it's snapped off its little, whatever those things are called. Should probably take this thing apart. Make sure I'm not going to quarter-inch. I'll check back in with you once I have a little more progress. I think I better look in here and check this wire situation. That looks pretty clean. What's going on here? It's got a busted one of those, whatever you call them. I don't know. These things. Okay. Looks pretty tidy in there, actually. I think I just need to put a new one of those in. I probably have one in the workshop. This thing is snapped off. Broken, so it's broken off inside of there. I had a screwdriver. There it is. So let's go see if we can find one of those in the workshop. I think there's a fair chance that we can find one of those in the electrical department. I got a couple of drawers full of junk like that. Huh. That almost looks like the zinc that I just got for this thing. Don't think it's quite the right size. This is looking like the right department. There's one that's too big. There's one that's way too big. Might have to dig deep. I'm not finding that little electrical connection thing. It's after hours, businesses aren't open. What are we gonna do? We gotta make this work somehow. Look through more totes. I look through these totes. This one says 110 electric. That seems likely. Oh, I'll dig around, let you know what I find. Okay, well, here's the thing. I did not find one of these things. These little wire pincher guys. But you know what? There was one on the back side of this thing. And so I'm just gonna steal it. And I'm gonna use it on this sharp edge of the water heater because that looks like a little nasty for the wiring. And then I'll do probably nothing on that side. So I think it's a good compromise. And I think it's going to protect the wire as it goes around that sharp corner, and I can always replace it out there at a later date. And then I'm going to feed this thing back in there through the insulation, get my fingers all covered in fiberglass insulation and itchy. And I'll wonder why my fingers feel so nasty later tonight. That's kind of how I roll. Okay, so, ugh. I hate this insulation stuff. It's almost like having a fiberglass boat. Ugh. Look at that. You probably can't see it because it's really small. But I'll tell you what's going on is I got that thing there. I'm going to feed the wires through. And then screw this thing on. We're going to be looking good. That thing can't go tight. Now, let's see if I can get the wires out the end hole. All right. We got a repaired wire situation. Good enough for today. I'll probably end up doing some more demo in here, but it is not at the top of the priority list, trust me. I can smell it down here. I can smell the old stench. I think it's this plywood somewhere down in there. We're probably due for a total bathroom remodel, unfortunately. Like, rip all the plywood out. But, oh, I see why this thing gets broken. Can't go by that cover. All right, well, I think I should focus on hooking up the water lines before I bother with the power. This one is the outlet. It's gonna go right there. Just need to get some tools and take this off. Actually, I gotta go turn the water pressure off before I do that because this has city pressure on it. High pressure. Okay, so it goes. You know, when you're doing the plumbing project and you don't have access to a hardware store and you're on a boat, so you're just using whatever you can find in the coffee can. Or the 5-gallon bucket if you're lucky. So that's where I'm at here. And since that hot water tank had a street 90, but I needed to come in with a bushing, my only 1-inch to 3/4 inch bushing. So I'm going to switch to a standard 90, female on both ends, put this bushing in there, and then I'll be able to come in with the make this work. So that's where we're at. We are here at the Ovice making do with whatever plumbing fixtures we have, or plumbing parts. And it's going to work out. It's just the one thing about this type of stuff is I've always found that when you don't have all the parts that you need, you just use a lot more. Make up for it in quantity. Don't have the right one? Just use more. Just use more parts. So that's what I'm doing. And I think it's going to work. I think we'll have hot water tonight by the time it's ready to do dishes. I don't think I'll be washing my hands in warm water before dinner, but there should be warm water after dinner. Okay, so now I got 1-inch female, 3/4 inch female. That's what I needed to make this thing work on the bottom. I do believe. Let's see. Okay, so now I just need to put this 1-inch on there for the second time tonight. I had that one off outside when I was doing my flush procedure. don't want to sink the boat in the shipyard. I was thinking about this, and you know what? If we sprung a leak on this water system, we would start trying to drain the city of Wrangell's water supply into our boat. Don't tell Audrey. But yeah, that's true. We could actually sink ourselves in the shipyard if we had a big leak in our water system, because unlike when we're out at sea where we're supposed to be, if you spring a leak in your fresh water, which we did one time on the White Eagle, we started to flood the down and below decks area, but it didn't totally flood because it just pumped the tanks dry. But in this situation right here, we would never really run out of water. It would just keep draining. I don't know how big the reservoir of Wrangell is, but I bet you it's big enough to flood the Gypsy. So, gonna be a little extra careful. And I think that's gonna work right there. This one's ready to hook up on here. I got the outlet is on there. Okay, that's in there. I need the zinc on there. I need the wires hooked up. I need to go turn off the water supply so I can take this business apart, stick that in there. Then we'll be ready to try this again and hopefully not flood 5 gallons of water into the bathroom like last time. Well, when I put the water tank in there, started filling it, and then I realized I should probably flush that thing out. So here we are. Now I have a zinc to put in there too, because the other zinc was totally rotted out. So we're gonna have this thing kind of fixed up a little bit. I did want to tell you, I didn't end up needing to use it, but if you've ever used electrical tape and you've ever wondered why this Scotch Super 33 stuff, I think in some stores I've seen this tape for like $12 a roll, whereas normal electrical tape is like $2. Well, this stuff is really incredible. It's a lot better than all the other electrical tapes that I've used, and it's always nice to have some around when you want the best. And one of the things is, you notice, is it's very sticky and it stretches so much before it breaks. Oh, lots of stretch, and it's flexible when it's cold out. So I would suggest, oh here, it even says on there, vinyl electrical tape, 220 degrees Fahrenheit to 0 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what normal electrical tape is, but this stuff is really nice, professional grade. So, Scotch Super 33 Plus. I didn't pay for this actually, someone gave it to me. Luckily, probably can't afford it. All right. Let's do the wiring while we're sitting here. I got some crazy wire nuts that I salvaged from the winch that is on board the Gypsy for lifting and lowering the skiff out the back. There's some interesting sort of like, they got set screws in them and then caps, a little more positive connection than your standard wire tie. What do they call these things? Wire nuts? Wire nuts. That's what it is. These are high grade wire nuts. Status update here in the bathroom floor where it smells like feces and plywood. Shh. We're just gonna pretend that's not true. Got my wires hooked up. Temporary wire nut job. This is the coolant loop from the main engine. It's not hooked up. It should be fine. Here we go. I got my inlet water supply in. This is some sort of compression fitting to 3/4 inch, and then a 3/4 to 1 inch bushing to a standard Oh wait, maybe it's 1/2 inch to 3/4, because that thing says 3/4 on it, so it must be 1/2 inch pipe to 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch bushing to 3/4 inch 90. That's my inlet supply. That's the one that has city hose pressure, because I got a hose hooked up on the deck going backwards into the water system on the Gypsy. And up here we got the street 90 3/4 inch to a female coupling in this old Quest pipe stuff. I got a little bin of parts for that, so I was able to make that work. And this is the outlet that's going to supply hot water to the cabin. There's the wiring junction box. Got that fixed back in there so it's not pinching the wires. It's kind of a funny angle, but it's okay. Over here, folks, this is where the old Zinc came out. I looked at this on another day, but if I never get around to editing that, here's the old Zinc. You can see it's a nasty little bugger, and it was totally gone. So I think this is a marine, this is a, here we go, Torrid marine water heater, 20-gallon capacity, and it has this loop. Well, I got this Zinc at Century Hardware. Look at that monster, $17 Zinc, and I hope it's gonna fit in there. Hope the threads will work. I figured it would. They look like they were the same size, but is it? Oh, yeah. Feels like it's going in. Okay, well, I am going to put a little thread sealant on there because Lord only knows. The last thing I want to do is fill this thing up with water and then have it start leaking out the Zinc, which is only halfway up. So I'm going to put some of my favorite tape on here, Blue Monster. This is kind of like that Super 33 electrical tape, if you've never been around it. Blue Monster PTFE thread tape. This stuff is a little extra duty thick. It's just like a premium quality. It's kind of the deal. Oh, I'm gonna take that sticker off there. Don't need to put any more junk in this water tank than already was in it, huh? Yeah. Of course, the sticker's not coming off very good. Should just stick it in there, sticker it in there. Well, luckily, I got my favorite little tool in my pocket, and I can get this thing off of here so I don't end up drinking it. It's kind of weird to think of having Zinc in your water, huh? I guess, now that I think about it, when I get a cold, I have Zinc. I don't know, you think? What do you think? Tell me in the comments. Zinc from a sacrificial zinc anode plug, is that a safe thing to have in your drinking water? Is it beneficial to your health? Immune system booster? Kind of doubt it, but you know what? We're not going to be drinking the water that comes out of this thing anyhow. We'll be washing dishes, washing our hands. Someday, if we're lucky, taking a shower. But nobody's holding their breath for that, I tell you that much. I haven't had a shower in over a week because the laundromat closes at 8, and I'm always working past 8. So there we go. That thing's threaded in there. Feeling good. I got this 4-foot long wrench to really get it nice and snug. This is my only 1/2 inch. Well, that's not true, actually, no. But this is my most readily available 1/2 inch ratchet. Is that the right word? So let's see, let's get her up to torque. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Tight, snug, tight, snug. My vent is off. The only thing I wanted to do was mess with my blocking a little bit. Oh, look. The camera was rolling. Check, check. Feedback. Okay, we're gonna go all in.
I don't need a respirator now.
Maybe just a snorkel.
I've got goggles in here.
Scuba
and
gear.
a swim cap.
We're gonna mic her up so she can get all the action. I'm gonna go out there, turn on the water, and she's gonna say a bunch of stuff on the radio that confuses me that I can't understand.
Yes. I feel like I should get a rain jacket. This down jacket's
Oh,
a
jeez.
bad idea.
Okay.
It's fine.
Now.
It's definitely Saturdays. When you live.
Radio check.
Radio check.
Copy. Oh, that was good. Okay, heading down the stairs. I got line of sight on the hose.
Roger. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Here comes the water. I'm opening the valve.
Okay. All right.
You should hear some noises.
Oh gosh, I
but
hear
just looking
noises.
for water.
Okay. 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 Okay, I hear noises and I don't see any water.
I think the kitchen faucet might be open.
Somebody's calling my phone. Oh, it's my son. Everything looks good. Let me go check the kitchen faucet.
Kitchen faucet.
Kitchen faucet is now off. No leaks noted.
Okay, I'm coming back in the
Successful.
Gypsy here.
Good job.
I hear water running. It must be going in to fill up
Must
the
be
water
filling
tank.
it, yeah.
So let's see if we open.
Oh gosh, what color is it going to be?
Oh, it's cold,
Wow.
but we need to open the valve up underneath here.
I'm pretty amazed that you were able to get this working.
Well, it's not working yet, but I should get a bunch of air out of there. It smells like yellow cedar in here.
Yeah, definitely better than what it has smelled like in the past.
Yeah, so we're filling up the water tank with air now. And
Call Canada back.
it's not leaking very much, so. Okay, cool.
Yay!
Next thing will be turning on the breaker and seeing if we pop the breaker. You can keep an eye on that. Fire watch.
Oh jeez. What am I supposed to put a fire out with?
Nothing. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna go flop the breaker and see if it seems like we're in luck. Back here in the lazarette. Here's my breaker panel. Look at that one. Hot water. She's on the phone. Well, it didn't trip. So let's say that's a good sign. We might be making warm water, folks. It's just gurgling away. A bunch of crud in there. Should be filling the tank up. If it's leaking, it's a real slow leak, so that's cool. Wow. Might be living the dream here, folks. Ha! Well, we finally got filled up, and guess what? We got a leak. This little bugger leaking out of there. I can't even tighten that because it's already all the way tight. It's leaking out of both sides. Okay. Bummer. Just gotta go turn off the water. The valves under the sink don't work, so I have to turn off the water outside, come in, take that thing apart, drain the water out of the tank to that point. Okay. Back at it. Trying it again. You know what I think is going on? So I think this is the wrong style fitting. I think that fitting I have in there is actually a it's a flare compression fitting or something, and I'm trying to make it pretend to be a pipe thread, which I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to keep trying. Well, folks, the struggle is real here in the bathroom. Late night plumbing. It seems like I'm always doing plumbing late at night. I don't know what's up with that. But here's what I came to conclude. I was doing something stupid. Beginner plumber, homeowner plumber. I think I was trying to put a flare fitting. I don't even know what this piece of junk is, but it is not helping me. That thing was leaking out both ends. But I think the main problem was this is a flare union of some type. And I was trying to go from flare, is there a flare or compression? Probably compression? I don't know which is which. But I was trying to switch from compression to pipe, and I thought I could do it with this thing. But no cigar, no luck. No cigar? It's getting late. So I found another thing in the tub of plumbing parts. This thing looks like it's actually meant to be compression or flare. Tell me in the comments. I know I have no idea what I'm doing. To pipe. No more leaking. We have water. I think that maybe I can go have dinner finally. Leave this giant mess and see if we get warm water after a while. So thanks for bearing with me. I got this incredible chunk of deer meat sitting here thawed out now. Full hind quarter with the bone in. I'm going to cut a few chunks off of that thing and call it dinner. Cook it in the pan. Later.
Hi. I'm making dessert.
Wow.
I earned it.
That looks pretty good. Dinner's over. The hot water tank debacle is over. I haven't cleaned up. It's a mess in here. But it's not dripping. No drips. It hasn't shorted out. And it's getting warm. This thing feels warm. Hasn't tripped the breaker. The sink is a mess. It's a demo site, but I turn on the water. That's warm water, folks. It's not hot yet, but it's warm. I'm gonna be able to wash my grubby hands with warm water. That is gonna be so nice. So that's the big update. It's getting stormy outside. Big storm coming through tonight. And then again tomorrow or next week it looks like. So not sure about my scaffold build and shelter thing, but anyhow, the deer meat was delicious for dinner.
Yes, it was.
The water is warming up.
Yay.
It's a cozy night in the Gypsy, except it's actually cold in here. Audrey was noticing she could see her breath a minute ago. We might have to work on the heater before long. Got a Webasto boil furnace water boiler heater in here, but it's a pretty complex system. Haven't even really looked at it yet. Kind of not wanting to because I'm afraid it's going to turn into a big project. But anyhow, thanks for sticking with me on this water heater thing. It's kind of a drudgery of a job, but I hope for some reason you found it interesting. And maybe you'll never have to do something like that yourself. See you later. Thanks for subscribing, all the comments, all the support, all the encouragement. It's really been fun. It's fun growing this community and all of the kind words that we're getting. And just a lot of people really
Yes, thank you so much.
helping us along because it's not always fun and games. Farewell.